We're like very matchy. We're very matchy today.
We really are.
I'm wearing the other one. I'm not. Yeah, I didn't even realize. I just realized you're wearing that one. This is funny. And I went to change my background. I wasn't looking at what Adrian's was yet, and it was the same one.
Okay, so we chose the same. Yes, chose the same virtual background and gray GM Farcaster shirts from 2024. Yeah. These are.
This is the. I have the different one on. I know which one you have on. I have
but
the
yours is still
second
24.
Version. Yeah, it's 24. Yeah, aren't you wearing? Yeah. You're wearing the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're wearing the East Denver one.
But they're both vintage. My point is they're vintage.
Vintage. We're wearing vintage today. Some people wear vintage Versace. We wear vintage GMFC. There you go. All right. We got to get this tweeted out and casted out. And I haven't done it. Speaking of cast out, that's coming up soon. I haven't done any of these things yet, Adrienne. I haven't told anybody that we're live. We got to do that. So let me just tell people we're live. If you are watching already, retweet, recast, let people know we are live.
I let everyone who has our mini app added know we're live because
amazing.
That is just a single click of a button.
Just a single click, as opposed to having
Dev's gonna dev. I
love it.
I think we can create a tool that will automatically maybe cast and.
Can we do that? And that would be amazing. That's what we need, but we also need the retweet, and I don't know how we're going to get there. But yeah, we got to let people know when we're live because the algo doesn't always tell you. So this is what we do. Very excited to chat today. We've got a pretty light day. It's nothing too major, right? I don't think there's nothing controversial.
You're being sarcastic, I hope.
No, I'm not. There's like little things, but nothing like major. It feels it feels pretty chill. I'm talking about in the world of Farcaster, not the world of the world. The world of the world is like anything but chill at the moment.
I guess.
So I'm excited to just chat and talk about what's going on. All right.
There's been spice in the past day.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. You know what? I think we forgot to pull one of those casts. I think I forgot to pull a couple of those, but I'll fix that in just a second. By the way, though, we haven't done our little intro. So let me drop this little video and we'll be back in 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, October 8th. I almost said Friday. I was trying to move things along. And you are here with Nanish, Prof, and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. And I'm grabbing some of the spiciness that you were talking about because I didn't pull some of that yesterday.
Starting with the spice?
No, we're not going to start with the spice. Definitely not. We do not start with spice. We start with the fun stuff first, but I'm trying to find the I'm looking for the spice and I can't seem to find it. All of a sudden. But I'll find it after. Okay, let's jump in and just talk about some of the good news, some of the happiness and sunshine. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. So let's start with the leaderboard. Rewards leaderboard result. Summer has ended, but the summer season is just beginning, with Chase Summer continuing his climb from outside the top 10 last week to number 2, edging out everyone but Burtwurst, our favorite dog. on Farcaster. Also, don't tell my other dog. Also at number 18 is Madison Summer, thoughtful mom and well-rounded non-crypto normie. Well, can you be a normie if you host the Raleigh FC Friday in your home? Probably not. I don't think so. This is like you trying to pretend you're a normie. It's pretty funny.
I'm so normal.
So not. You're a Gen X mom who hosts a crypto podcast. Okay.
That's Farcaster. Normal. It's a Farcaster podcast.
Totally normal.
I do everything I can. Yeah.
Like everybody does that. Every soccer mom is investing, is playing around with crypto and hosting podcasts. Moving on. For Ted, it must not have been all about that base app. This week, issues back at number 3. Must have posted with FC a lot more this week. Nana with another top finish at number 4. And did you see her cast this week that what she uses the rewards for? Tuition. A good reminder to us that although there may be regulars in the top 10, it doesn't mean there aren't great stories there. Down leaderboard, we've got everyone's lovable the dude at number 17, bribing people to get him an all-time high. Bribe of his new mini app, just to be clear. It's October, and that means baseball playoffs and Kagami at number 24. He actually does more than baseball, by the way. And Piano Camila at number 26, first top 30, I believe. Meme coveted 69 goes to Strawberry. I was very close. I was circling that.
I was 70 at one point, super, super close.
I was actually 69 at one point, and then I went up, and then I went down, and yeah, I think I don't know, 63 or something. So close, so close. So you were not in the top 10 this week. How'd it feel?
It felt good. Way too much pressure to be in that top 10. Way too many eyeballs on you. You don't want it. Trust me. It's not. I would not wish the top 10 on my worst enemy.
It takes a lot of work. Again, we shout these out every week because it does take a lot of work. And this is who is bringing fabulous content to our timeline. And we want to shout them out and say thanks. So thanks.
I'm back in my comfort zone.
Just hanging out in with the middle class. Upper middle class, I'd say, to be honest. But yeah, I think it was Thumb who said, I don't know how you do it, or how you consistently we're in that range. And it's like, this is just my normal casting. I'm not trying to stay in that range. It's just where I end up. So yeah. It just is. This from Farcaster. Pro subscribers only pay a 0.05% wallet fee for Ethereum swaps. We've lowered our fees again from 0.15% to 0.05%. So that's exciting. I did like Ted's suggestion. You should put this in terms of what it means for $100 or 1K or 1 ETH swap. And that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Put it in something a little more tangible so people can see like what it is they're saving.
But also from a marketing perspective, no one actually cares, right? It's like you're getting the message out that it's just Farcaster has the lowest fees.
Has the lowest fees. Exactly. Farcaster Pro has the lowest fees. To be specific.
Yes, you can pay, what is it, $130 a year?
120.
Cost $120 a year, and you can save 50 cents, and it pays for itself. And if you swap a lot.
If you swap a lot, it'll pay for itself. But also, and this probably will never happen again. Let me be clear before I say this. But we ended up with like airdrops and NFTs and all kinds of stuff that it already literally paid for itself. Like it literally did. So there you go. Again, NFA, DYOR. This probably won't happen again. I think it was a one-off, but you can save if you swap a lot. And also, just FYI, if you're on Twitter, I've saved a lot by not signing up for Pro. No, you would have earned money. The wallet is really good for newbies. I have tested that out, that like with my class, and experimenting with a few different wallets for them, and the Farcaster wallet by far easiest for them to get very quickly how it works and what to do, and everything's very clearly laid out. So if you have newbies, that might be the way to go. Yes, to crypto, I agree. The real message is that Farcaster has a wallet. That itself isn't lauded enough, and I agree with that. True story. Moving on. This from the Headless Horse Facts. New on Farcaster, recent trades. See recent buys over 1,000. Tap the new card on the search screen to view all. One tap to swap or set a trade notification. Happy whale watching. So very cool. And this is, I think, connected with the trade notifications that they added fairly recently as well. So if you want to follow your favorite traders, yes, to crypto, and copy trade them, might not be a bad idea. NFA, DYOR. You can now do that and see what their recent trades were. So there you go. But I will warn you, and this is one of the things we talked about the other day, a lot of the traders use different wallets for their like heavy trading. But those who are using the Farcaster wallet, you can follow along. By the way, did you notice something about the screenshot here? I think this might be part of the new branding.
Different color purple?
Yeah, it feels slightly different. Is this like part of that new brand upgrade? And also,
I think so. And Dan also talked about how branding would be rolled. It's not like a big, oh, here's the new rebrand. It's just things slowly changing. So I think we're seeing some updates.
I'm seeing some interesting experimentation here. This feels different from this, so I'm wondering if this is the new color. I don't know. Anyway, just noticed that looked a little different. Either that or no one's being consistent and there'll be something completely different next week, which is also possible. We do have this new experiment from DWR at 0x Ideas. Trying an experiment where we surface trade ideas from people on crypto Twitter. Format of the post is the ticker, embed, and link to a tweet. That's it. A couple of disclaimers. We have no ownership of the asset. 2, NFA, DYOR, adults have agency. If this ends up being popular, we'll figure out how to migrate these CT-generated ideas into trade ideas feed. Okay. So this is playing around with expanding upon the trade ideas and top stories sort of approach to helping to surface when things are trending or interesting, different tickers to sort of surface those things and hopefully lead to some alpha. People had feelings. People had thoughts on this.
As you can imagine.
As you can imagine.
Oh, oh, me. I have thoughts.
You had thoughts. You had feelings.
To be clear, hold on. What you're pulling up is not my thoughts about trade ideas.
I know.
Okay. All right.
I know. Let me be clear. So the other part of this, and hold on, is this it? No, this isn't it. I don't think I have that one. There's a notification you can set for trade ideas in general. And this is not specific to 0x Ideas. There's two things happening. Yeah.
Yes. 0x Ideas is a new account, automated account or whatever that's controlled that will be pulling in tweets like from crypto Twitter, right? And then sharing the asset. Doesn't tell you like, here's the tweet, here's the asset. Doesn't tell you whether you should buy or sell. So like, still need to do a little of that, like
you have to do that whole thing.
But
have your own agency.
That's the feed. Separately, in the search page has been completely revamped recently that we've talked about to focus on kind of trading. And this, so then there's kind of like a trade idea feed.
Notification for that if you want, or you can turn it off as Adrian has just decided to do. I saw a few other folks do that as well. So why, and this, oh wait, was it this one? Yes. This is similar. This came from part of the, that discussion about trade ideas. So Farcaster token, and then people started talking about a Farcaster token, and Chase added a note here. What would the token do? And so we know you're.
What would the token do? What would the token do?
This is what you should hear every time somebody types that out. There you go. So we're seeing a lot of leaning into trying to surface more crypto-centric news, if you will, in different ways that relate to tokens. So if that is not your vibe, you can turn this off. Get no notification whatsoever.
No, I have a problem with dots and notifications hijacking my attention.
Yes, I get it. Well, this I think comes down to you're a completionist. Red dots sitting there bother you. So you need
telling me I need
it.
to go do something, and I don't. I am going to protect my sanity at all costs, and my.
So I can just ignore dots. Clearly,
amazing.
Clearly, like it doesn't even come close to like my email notifications from my Yahoo account, which are in the hundreds of thousands that I don't even see. It doesn't even register anymore. So, do with that what you will. But for those who are completionists, this is going to bug them, and I get it. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Control your attention. It's fine. There's lots of different, actually the notification settings, you can really dig deep there. You can turn them all off, or you can really set just the things you want to see. So use that wisely. Protect your sanity.
But this is the first time I've ever changed the default, because I think Farcaster product philosophy is have as minimal settings as possible.
Yeah.
Make smart defaults. And
So this one pushed you over the edge.
I'm no longer the default user.
She is not. All right. Moving on. DWR reminder that the overwhelming top request from developers for the last 3 years, user growth. That's why we've been focused on trying to figure out user growth. More users, more people available to use apps. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. Okay. There was this related, I saw a couple things about this, but one of the things I saw were people commenting on, Linda had posted that her focus is going to be more to onboarding rather than, she was kind of the go-between developers and Merkle and helping with mini apps and that kind of thing, and is still doing some of that as well. But the focus now is user growth, and she's in that focus, including really posting about onboarding and doing some live onboarding sessions. So that I'm guessing in the hopes that will bring more people to try Farcaster, which, good move, I think. Also, they lost Ted. So Ted went to Privy. Ted was doing some of that work. There's nobody really focusing on that right now. So that's my understanding as to why. But there was some pushback on that a little bit, thinking that it was taking away from the devs, which I don't know. What were your thoughts on that? I didn't feel that way at all. But as a dev, how did you feel about that? I had to say
this is not a new topic. For years, it's been this whole cycle, right, of what comes first, devs or users?
Yeah.
And I think for early on, I mean, listen, the promise of Farcaster, and it's interesting, and I don't know, by the way, I finally finished the whole Network State Conference.
Oh, good.
9 hours of video.
Impressive.
I've had it on as background noise for the past week. And Dan's talk on Farcaster, I kind of heard the Farcaster pitch fresh. And he was really focusing on programmability, composability, just that permissionless Lego blocks that people can build on top of social network protocol. Balaji separately has brought up Farcaster a few times in talking to other people. So not even about the Farcaster, but talking about what he likes about Farcaster. And it kept coming up about kind of, it's good for developers. He like loves the mini apps, loves that anyone can build, whether, full client or mini app. So I think early on, Farcaster was always an invitation for developers, but then I think there's just always been that tension because there's not enough users here.
Right.
So are you going to get users by attracting developers first? Like developers going to build all the cool things? And I think that was like the initial hypothesis. And then you realize, well, no, developers aren't always funded. They really need users. We're not going to get as many developers because if you're building somewhere else where there are a lot of users, like wouldn't I build a mini app on Telegram that has, much more users? So then the focus then became, okay, we're going to build the biggest client and then compete. So it's just always there's always that tension. And then over time, if you're a developer, you just, based on your personal experience, I think you can lose kind of like you feel unseen or you lose trust in the team. But
that makes sense. I mean, I think that's what we're, and I feel like you're right, though. This is not a new discussion at all. Like we've heard this many times in many different ways of who are you building this for? We saw that even, funny enough, I remember that was the reason. Remember Nook won a bounty and then like couple weeks later, like turned into just a mini app and turned off the, what do you call it? The client. And that was the reason, was like, we can't see the scaling. We don't know what to do. We can't, it was a great client. It's still a mini app, but they knew there was no path forward. And a lot of that had to do with the number of users and does it make sense to be competing with Merkle as a client, et cetera, et cetera. And then Sloak went to work for Farcaster. So there you go. So that Nook client probably would have been a good competitor. Probably would have had a wallet faster.
Well, let me ask you this. So you're building a business on Farcaster that is tied to Farcaster growth.
Yeah.
Right. Like this. So you're not Farcaster. The only difference is you're not competing with Farcaster. Actually, Farcaster's doing live streaming every week, I guess.
I mean, we kind of are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this
competing
point,
for attention. But how do you feel about?
I mean, I knew this was going to be a slow growth. And it was also, from day one, we're like, this is an experiment and we don't know where this is going to go. So do I want user growth? Yes. Do I want quality user growth? Also, yes. Like we see user growth from time to time that may not be useful. So there's that too. So, and I don't know what that looks like. I've had moments of different pockets of hope of greater expansion that haven't pettered out. Like they just kind of, you have this pop and then people disappear again. And I think that just speaks to, it's very hard to get people to do something consistently. They need to see that it's in their interest, that time is worth it to them. And I think that is difficult to express. So yeah, I want all the efforts towards user growth, whatever that looks like, because that's going to help us. If we're building, a media company that focuses, mostly on Farcaster, or Farcaster protocol, I should say, then yeah, we need growth.
It helps to have more than 37 people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe more than 37. Is Jason 420 J-Chan? I'm not sure.
Ice Toad.
Oh, it's Ice Toad. Never mind. Okay. I was gonna yell at him if it was J-Chan, but anyway. He knocked me out of poker.
And J-Chan he used to hang out in our chat. Not anymore. Where's he been? Is he working?
In a while. He's got young kids. He might be working too.
But yeah, I think all the feelings come down. It ends up being, I think, people building on Farcaster. It becomes a feeling thing.
Yeah.
Of they're not getting enough hugs from people. Like they're not feeling enough of like the emotional support, which I get because it's like you're spending time here.
Yeah.
You want to know, you feel like you're building towards the shared future, but at the same time too, it's like you also know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Or you have to know, like, what the promises are. Yeah.
Which there are no promises.
Thank you. No, but there are it's kind of like what you have to know what the promises are and
expectations.
They're different. Yeah.
Set your expectations properly. So in other words, like we've actually had people, I've had people reach out when Linda started doing more live streaming and we're like, I can't believe they're doing this to you. And like, I was like, what? Like,
I know.
We don't own live streaming about Farcaster. Like we don't like have a exclusive monopoly and we can't like stop the company itself from streaming. Like it was just silly. But like I get what they were being protective of us, but like it never even crossed my mind. It was like, what took them so long? They didn't have the right person to do that, who was interested in, you know what I mean? Mostly it was devs who were heads down coding, and they didn't have somebody who was going to be available to do more something like that. So as soon as they did, it made a lot of sense for them to start doing that. Also, Linda has an insane amount of followers on Twitter, so it's dumb to not use that and tap into that. Like I really wish like we could stream to the Farcaster account, would make me ecstatic. But that's just not, available to us at this time. But yeah, we need both. You're right. We need
so it doesn't
think wider. Yeah.
And the reality is like it's like anytime like Dan only has one mouth. So right, like you can only cast one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And he's transparent. So it's like priorities are constantly shifting.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, this is he's just like, this is where our thinking is right now. And this is where the emphasis is. It doesn't mean we don't care about users if we're focusing on devs, or if you're focusing on users, it doesn't mean whatever, or vice versa. So it's just funny. I mean, again, and I said this last week after Dan was here, I will, my personal thoughts, and having been in this space where I keep listening to him, is he's extremely logical, and organized. And if you're just looking like just logic by logic, I very rarely disagree with anything he says or the direction. So then it's like, okay, try things. Sure. He doesn't, you don't know how things are going to work. And so any of the complaints end up coming from feelings. Yeah.
And it all comes down to dream, distribution rules, everything around me, period, full stop, like for everything. And we're going to talk about a couple other things that I'm like, dream.
Yes. And can you disrupt that? We'll see. Also, every time you say Merkel, I hear Marco. I'm sorry.
We call you Net Nose. We don't call you Marco.
I don't know who Marco is. I only know Net Nose.
If you're listening for your name, Net Nose, we're going to call you Net Nose, not Marco. So don't worry. That's funny though. Yeah. All right. Let's, I want to add a little bit to that, a little bit related, but on to a different topic. So Stephen Sill, more spice on the timeline today. I like it. I don't like spice. I don't like conflict, but this was from Vrypan. This chart shows the number of casts I've posted each month since I first joined in July of 2022. So a little bit before I joined in October. You did as well, I think. What happened in August 2023? I started running my own hub, and in October, Farcaster opened signups to everyone. Until then, it was invite only. That P2P version of the protocol, with all its flaws, is what really got me passionate about Farcaster. I ran my own hub. It had the same privileges like any other hub, but if I discovered Farcaster today, would it feel as exciting as the 2023.09 version? I'm not so sure. I was thinking about this while watching this presentation about AT Proto Ethos, which I'm not sure what that one is. I haven't watched that. We used to have these kinds of discussions here too. Not so much anymore. The Farcaster ethos has become DAO growth. There is no passion about extensibility, data ownership, censorship resistance. I don't feel there is any vision about the protocol, how they want it to look in 1 to 5 years, just a list of feature requests prioritized according to some DAO metric. Yes, I know none of these matter if we don't have millions of DAO. And that, again, is daily active users, just to not DAO, DAU. Like I said, DAO growth. Also, no, I'm a niche audience. You can't grow to millions with users like me. Oh, well. So that was one thought. And then we also had Basil. FC coins are getting.
By the way, hold on. Before we go to Basil, I mean, Vypan is like, we've talked a lot early on, even remember like the missionary versus mercenary topic?
Yeah.
Like early users came because we were idealists and we were missionaries. Like we were here because we really believed in a lot of the fundamentals of decentralized social. So can we just chat? Vypan, I feel you.
Yeah.
Like we should pour some out for that time.
Yeah. And also you have some other things happening in social in general, right? You have and I was talking with Chris Corella about this completely in a different space, not publicly, but just chatting about Twitter. And he was interesting. He's like, well, my Twitter is so much better now than it was. So you've got improvements happening there where people feel like, okay, it's safe to go back in the water kind of thing. You've got multiple experimentation with decentralized social or different types of decentralized social, like maybe not necessarily like the way Farcaster's doing it, but you have different approaches with like, you have like Blue Sky and things like that, but you also have different like TikTok type style, like OpenAI and things like that. And you have Zora doing its own thing, and you have Base's new client, which is on Farcaster protocol, but still has a different approach. So you've got a lot of more things trying to get your attention, like more things trying to get you to try them. And it just starts to split your time. So I think there's a little bit of that too, that is completely unrelated to Farcaster itself, but just like
the time. Everything,
the world.
Right. The space is changing around you. It's not like when you start to build, you're going to come up with your plan and be like, this is the plan for Farcaster and this is what the protocol will look like in 2 to 5 to 10 years, because you have no idea what the world looks like in 2 to 5 to 10 months, much less years. Weeks. And Dan talked about this on the show. He was talking about like, oh, when we started, this was before Elon bought Twitter. It was a very different space. Yeah. And the fracturing of social. By the way, have you been on the Sora app?
Yeah.
That's my new social media app.
This is what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of things competing for attention too. Yeah. Like a lot. And when you think about like the decentralized, I think the existing problems that decentralized social was fixing are still there. They're just not, they ebb and flow. They ebb and flow in terms of you don't have this as much of a cancel culture, but we still see people getting deplatformed from Twitter all the time. Like, and it's been still a lot of crypto people. So that's still happening. You still have those moments like, I'm excited to have Shaw Makes Magic come on and talk about being deplatformed from Twitter and all of that. And how he thinks about that. But I think it's not important to you until it is. It just like you're not thinking about it until it happens to you. So it's just not that big of or as strong of a pull or as strong of a reason for people to try Farcaster because And you also have things like, oh, I know what I was thinking, like Pump Fun now is a streaming. Now is like, that's another place that your attention's being grabbed.
Is Zora getting into streaming? Like,
yes.
Oh, Pine Tree.
Pine Tree. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like everything needs to be in everything app. Like everything needs to, anyway. By the way, Farcaster on kind of the quality versus quantity. I will say like I think the foundation of Farcaster really was slow growth and like Dan being so intentional about, onboarding users through invites and, but at some point I think they gotta, it's like, if you don't grow, you'll die.
Yeah. You're at that point where you've got the fundamentals baked in, especially now with wallet and all that. You have to just start really pushing.
And better spam protection and
BAMs. Yeah. And they've done a lot of work on that. Like definitely my spam feed my feed was very good in terms of spam until base started expanding, and then you have a whole different pressure that comes in. And I get it. Like we just kind of took a couple steps back because they haven't done that same work yet that Farcaster had done. And it just takes a little time to catch up. Exploring a network token. Yes, exactly. That happened. And then this craziness happened. Okay. I want to talk just really quickly to Basil's because this is related. FC coins getting wrecked as DAUs, DAUS, dwindle, and CT, crypto Twitter, dances around a TBA, the base app, tombstone. I just feel like I have to read all these little abbreviations in case people don't know what this means. Base push Zora, ZORA, way too aggressively integrating. This is all Basil's points here, just to be clear. Integrating a mid-7th pivot platform into an 80 billion Pubco app release at the most fundamental level of usage with zero validation and against a wall of external and thoughtful criticism. It's unheard of. As a result, the two have become inseparable, and Base App has now lost its brand name barely a year in. I disagree with that. But users this and that see world. Okay, world app is what he's talking about there. This is a little hard to parse if you don't know what all these abbreviations mean. So that's why I'm pausing here and there. FC chose to build against its core TAM, total available market, for over 2 years and destroyed its public perception in the process. I disagree with that. Now a token is the only way out. I disagree with that. Base learned nothing from Farcaster's shortcomings and chose to push creator coins from the very top. Now a token is the only way out. No one asked Farcaster nor Base to create net new creators. This is crypto. The long-term sustainability of TBA and certainly now FC, given the wallet upgrades, does not depend on net new creators. This is crypto. We're building crypto apps. It doesn't have to be like this, you know? All both of y'all had to do was build for the devs. They will literally do your job for you. All you need to do is listen and support them. Okay. If that was true, if they will literally do your job for you, we would have millions of users by now. Like, we don't. Daily active users. So that is inherently untrue because that's all they've done is build for the devs for years. Is create a platform for, and it's been, I think, very successful. We see a lot of, I've always thought of like Farcaster is an incredible incubator in itself, and that it creates an environment that's very builder centric, as is Base. And between those two things, you've seen a ton of different projects that really have taken off and have been incredibly successful on both Farcaster and Base. So there's that. Are there a lot that haven't? Yeah. Welcome to the world. Okay. Before I go on, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just not overly sympathetic to the "it didn't have to be that way" argument. I hear it way too often, not just about this cast, but about things in general. Completely as a side, I just read the book Careless People, and I casted about it. I don't know if you know it. It's like a little memoir style about this woman who worked at Facebook in the global policy department, and she was super idealistic. And then over the years about how Facebook kind of handled various governments and kind of global policy and censorship, got really disillusioned. Excellent book. Not as like a, it's billed as this like cautionary tale against, but it's just interesting because it's just, if you read it as one person's account. So I found that really interesting. But the end of the book, she sums it all up with like, it didn't have to be this way. It's like, but you're not presenting, like, it's like, oh, if only everybody just listened to me. It didn't have to be this way. So I'm a little sensitive to these days to it didn't have to be this way when you complain about something, because like, none of this is easy. If it was easy, it would be done. And and Basil's cast was just a little clickbaity and a little bearish, and dramatic. And I didn't even understand everything in the acronyms. Like, thank you for explaining what it all meant.
Yeah.
And Basil, I love you as a person. So it's not,
and I do want to
personal, but it was like,
I think he had a little bit of a crash out moment is the way I read that. As I was reading, I'm like, this is weird. It really was, because it felt like he was having a crash out that almost felt like was informed by things we weren't even seeing.
Exactly. And I guess when I started reading it, like it didn't reflect my experience, when it's like everything is horrible, like everyone's dancing around the tombstone of the base app. The base app is in beta. Like you can't even
still in beta.
use it. It hasn't launched yet. It has not launched yet. So how can you?
And it has like, I don't know, like 1 million. There's like 1 million people on a wait list.
Someone just said 30 million or something in our chat. But it's like, how can you dance on a grave of something that hasn't been born yet?
Yeah.
And in terms of like, and again, if you're focused on a number to whatever, it didn't reflect my personal experience. So like, I actually just kind of didn't spend much time on it.
Yeah. I almost didn't share this today, honestly. Like I went back and forth in these last 2 casts. I wasn't going to share. And then I went, okay, I feel like we probably should, because it's been part of the conversation and it might be important. But also, like he did have a follow-up. So let me just read that so that, we get the full picture here. For the record, my frustrations do not equate to hostility. It came off a little hostile, and I think that was what people were pushing back on, but he wanted to be clear. He was not hostile. I want nothing more than for Zora, TBA, and FC to be astounding successes, and my DMs are always open. Of course, I want that. I want to work with builders here each and every day. In fact, I'm building an incubator that fundamentally must compound asset value across base and FC, or I lose everything. There are no 2 ways about it. It's do or die. I'm all in. And I feel like that's what was behind the first frustration post, was like this feeling like, okay, things are whatever. Something set him off. And my guess is maybe seeing something on crypto Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. But I think it was a little bit more harsh than it needed to be. Yeah. I mean, we have our moments though. What are you gonna do?
But that is, I mean, it's just such a great, like, you never know what's in someone's mind when, like, casting. I think about this all the time. Like, I'm casting all this stuff on my mind. Some of it is informed by things you're seeing, but everyone has a different feed. Everyone's following different people. Everyone has different inputs. Everyone's building different things. So
do you realize that I don't even see, I have you on notifications and I don't see all your stuff.
I have you on notifications. I think they stopped. I think the notification alert stopped working because I realized
it works. I mean, it's in your notifications. You have to go in and click and see it. It doesn't mean you're going to naturally see it on your feed, though.
Right.
Like sometimes you have to seek it out. So that's what I mean. Like all of our feed, we're not going to see everything that everyone's individual experience is going to be different.
Totally. And especially on crash out days, everyone starts looking for hidden meaning in everyone's casts.
Crash out days.
I was actually just thinking, I just casted this morning. I'm going to use the base app for the next week. I've been wanting to do this for a long time because I've been going back and forth. I was going back and forth between the 2 apps, like just wanting to kind of good faith effort, use all the different clients.
Same.
And then over time, I realized unless I'm intentionally using base, like habits kick in. And especially when I was in Mongolia and I had very limited Wi-Fi. We had like Starlink for an hour a day. I found myself like, there was no way I was opening up the base app. I was just, the habits kicked in. And then your little neural pathways like really set it. Like they don't want you to change. They only want you to use one app.
I know. Well, the other thing is, and I said this to Dan, like you may not think you're doing it for rewards, but yet when you start to think about it, it does create a habit, and it's hard to justify casting from somewhere else sometimes when you're seeing that. So
but it's not the reward. It's like, anyway. So and our friend Oxbid texted me and she's like, can I just I just want to ask for feedback. Like, why don't you use the base app and can you send us feedback? Like what, so kudos always to base team seeking feedback. And I was like, there's no reason.
I have reasons.
But for me,
I do have reasons.
It's just
for me, it's channels. That's a big one because if I'm posting about GM Farcaster or I'm posting our cast out, I want them in the channels so that they're easy to reference later on. So those are my 2 big ones. The other issue that I keep having is when I add a video, sometimes it won't upload. And even if I turn off, the coining or whatever, it still won't upload. So I've had some like weird, like those are just bugs. And I know it's going to get better over time, but it's just bugs right now.
But I haven't even been using it enough to know why I'm not. It was just so I was told in my mind while I was away, I'm like, all right, I'm going to heavily use, I'm going to use just switch the base app for a little bit just so I can play around with it. And I'm laughing that I'm like, I'm finally settled back after my travels. This week, I'm going to do it when it's like, it can look like a protest vote of mine. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Oh, you're giving trade ideas? Fine. I'm going to go. Oh, Farcaster's getting too D-Jenny. I'm going to go to the base app where everything's a coin.
Because that's not D-Jenny at all. It's like,
that's funny. Right. Oh, you can't do 4 images. Okay. Yeah. And by the way,
there's a few reasons. Yeah.
Wait, immediately I noticed things that were missing, like drafts. You can't, like, there's no drafts after you can. I mean, there's a ton of things, but anyway, what are we even talking about?
Anyway.
My point is, let's go back to the news.
Anyways, what were we talking about? But anyway, so yeah, we had a little bit of a crash out, little bit of some rumblings, and this happens from time to time. I always give the team a lot of grace. One of Basil's other things was really about Zora, and that, heavy connection. I get what Jesse's trying to do. I think he really believes in this theory. But I don't think they're being completely exclusive to that. And also, like, I don't think that's necessarily the reason that there's some challenges there. So, but I think there's some good points that he made, just, mixed in with a crash out. It's okay. It's okay, Baz. All right, moving on.
There's always good points.
There's always good points.
I think about all the people who crash out, right? And you always think about like substance versus style. And I think most people don't separate the two.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're able to kind of like separate and take people's emotions out, like there's always good points people make if you can.
Absolutely. And there were definitely some good points in there for sure. All right, let's move on. We've got a few more things to tackle. This from Bondies, and I have not tried this before. It says, starting today, all Farcaster Pro subscribers have access to the beta version of, I hope I'm saying this right, Bondies or Bonds? Maybe it's Bonds.
Bonds.
I think it's Bonds.
Bondes.
Someone help us. Join now at beta.
I wonder if it's a
Portuguese
word
Oh,
or
maybe.
something.
Maybe. BONDES.xyz. This is not a typical Farcaster client. There is no feed, channels, or mini apps. This is tailored to help you manage your connections, notifications, and build personal relationships with the people at Farcaster. Whether you're a pro user or a brand, you can manage and grant access to multiple accounts, schedule casts, work together on drafts, search social signals, and much more. For each person, you can see past interactions, add notes, and organize in groups. Join us now. So that's interesting. Have not had a chance to try this out. It's getting some really good feedback in terms of people who have used it. So I'm looking forward to trying it out. So that is good to see. You haven't tried it yet, have you?
I haven't tried it yet. You know who built this, right?
Is it
Tiago?
Tiago, that's who you worked with
for Coineroid.
Yeah, Coineroid.
Very talented developer. So
I didn't know until I started reading through the comments, and I wish that they would, when you're doing an announcement like this, that you note that, because it changes whether or not I feel comfortable trying something.
Oh, totally. I recasted it to put that right. It's like the credibility of like, well, who's behind it? Yeah. And he also did Wyatt, Where You At?
Oh, right. Yep. Very talented guy. Very talented guy. So looking forward to trying that. And this was interesting. So V commented, to a comment from Entropy Bender, American Trenchers bridging to Binance Smart Chain with one BNB and Google Translate. BNB, which is Binance's chain, had a little pop off recently, and a lot of people started to try that who normally were not touching that with a 10-foot pole previously, and you could see V's wheels were turning here. So I'm assuming, and I think I did see something, another note about this, that B&B is coming to the wallet soon, is my guess. Probably sooner rather than later. And so look for that. Who knows? Maybe by Friday we'll have that information for you. So we shall see. Let me open up some other
Wouldn't it
links
be cool, right?
here.
If your first idea when you hear about anything crypto of like, where can I get it? Because in the old days, it was like having to onboard to every chain required like specialized wallets and research and all that. So, and then the easy way to do it was just with centralized exchanges. Like you can go to Coinbase and buy anything, great. But to have a self-custody wallet that works on kind of any crypto is
cool. That's what we need to see. Yeah, we want to see that. And it's really like impressive how easy it is to swap. I can't even tell you, like having people be able to swap from Base to Solana easily without thinking about it, and bridging and all this crap, like it's pretty impressive. If you've never done it the hard way, not realize it's impressive, but it is. All right, just bringing up the next group of links, and they're taking forever to come up. But I did have a few other things that we needed to chat about that are going very slowly in opening. I'm like, come on, something open for me so I can talk about something. We have a whole, so we still have a bunch of things to go through that I need to whip through. Yeah, let's talk about our backgrounds. This was from, if you can't tell, which I don't even have that up yet. That's the problem. Oh, here we go. We already talked about that one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to jump in. We'll get to the backgrounds in a second. This from Rish, looking to speak with 2 to 3 folks who want to build a mini app, but haven't yet because it's too hard, too much work. Working on a few things to make it easier, and we'd like to test a few things if this is you. So if you've been wanting to work on a mini app, or you've gotten like halfway through it and gave up like me, reach out to Rish because they have something new coming. And I actually talked to Grin about this at Basecamp, and I think it's going to be something very useful for a lot of folks. So go check that out. This from Android 16, super excited to announce the launch of live streaming on Pinetree. We launched Pinetree on May 1st at Farcon NYC with the goal of being the best place for casters to create and share long form videos. Now we're excited to build upon that foundation and add support for live content. I'm going to read just a little bit more, but he goes on for a bit. Why live streaming? I think Yanowitz said it best. I have no idea. In a recent Empire podcast episode, the end game of social-led distribution of audio and video is 2 sides of the spectrum. You have live streaming and you have short clips. The key here is distribution. So it goes on to talk about live streaming and distribution. Don't have to sell us on this. And then today's launch is a soft launch. We've listed a few casters who will be able to stream in order to iron out the last few kinks in production. Once we harden the product a bit, we'll open up streaming to everyone shortly, ETA 2 to 3 weeks, most likely. Haven't had a chance to really explore this yet. And I missed the live stream that, is it Gooey? I don't know. Did yesterday. Have you had a chance to look at this at all, Adrian? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
It just happened yesterday.
No, I know, but
I haven't had to do, I haven't had a chance to try the new launches, this or bonds, but going to.
Yeah.
Excited about it.
So we now have Pinetree and Retake. Zora is coming. That was I already talked with Jesse about that at Basecamp as well. My comment to him about Zora streaming was what I want to see is actually native streaming in one of these apps, like in Base app, in Farcaster, that would be more useful. Mini apps probably allow for more features, so that's useful. But what happens is, what it comes down to is, again, dream. So distribution. Are you going to bring us net new audience? Or are we, once again, bifurcating our audience and, putting them into another place? So this is this is why we haven't started streaming on Retake yet. The reason is we're not going to be able to focus on that chat because it doesn't tie into our streaming platform. So to all who might be listening who are building streaming apps, this is the issue, and I don't know how to solve it. So there you go. But it's the problem that we've had anytime we stream to something that is like, even when we were streaming to Unlonely, we had to have a separate device open to be able to chat in Unlonely because it doesn't build into our little StreamYard.
And
so
right. Even we stream to our mini app.
Yeah.
And even
Same.
people are saying, like, I wish I could chat from the mini app, which we can't because,
we don't want to. Yeah. We don't want you to. It makes it harder on us.
I would not be against using every streaming platform out there just go meet people, whatever, even if they're not chatting. I mean, there's people, like, our primary chat is on YouTube, but people can watch in other places. The reason I like the idea of native streaming in Farcaster is dream. So just like when you had the Spaces or Twitter, it's letting people know, like, it'd be really cool if when people open up Farcaster, they're like, oh, look, I'm just gonna shout it. We've got Red Wings, the Dude, Ice Toad, and Pascaline, and 4 of my other friends watching. Unlonely feels like so long ago. Long ago.
So long ago.
So long.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But we used to exclusively stream on Unlonely for quite a while.
Only Unlonely.
Only Unlonely. We only posted recordings on Zora. Like, those are the only places you could see it. And we learned fairly quickly that, like, that wasn't enough in terms of distribution. And I think we made a few choices along the way that probably held us back a little bit and had to readjust. And so, like, I would prefer to be on platforms that were crypto native and had crypto integrations, except that we know that's not where the distribution is, unfortunately. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Though, I mean, when I've talked to people building any sort of like streaming type software or streaming or any kind of like recording media, even if they're like, oh, it's super easy, just upload your video here or this, like the additional overhead of, like, we're moving, forget about the streaming, just like recordings.
Yeah.
You take an hour-long video, right? The additional overhead of, like, how long it takes to upload and move files, like, it's kind of a bitch to work on. Like, it's not easy. So it's like, oh, sure, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and then your day's gone.
Like, it takes me,
that's how the math
like,
works.
just for every episode, it's taking at least 2 hours post show to get everything out there. Like, I don't think,
and we don't edit.
and that's 2 hours for me. And then Adrian's also doing stuff on her end with clips and everything. So that's like another hour at least, could be longer. Like, so, it's a lot. Anyway.
Yeah. So if you make
love
it easy,
the tools, but we're just know our hesitation.
Isn't that why RSS? Isn't that why podcast RSS is so great? It's like you put it in one place. Here's the episode. Go. If you've got a podcast platform, people can listen. Like, people listen to the RSS everywhere.
Exactly. We can't afford an intern. This is the problem, Red Wings.
Yeah, I think we can, but
there's a lot. We know. All right. Moving on. We got to move on and bop through a few things really quick. Because I want to give these shout outs. Aptos Experience is next week, October 15th to 16th. Adrian and I will both be there. Very excited to see there's going to be a lot of people from Farcaster there, because JC and Poi Meets World are both on the Aptos team, and they've been doing a good job getting Farcaster interested. So we're excited to see everybody next week in New York. This from Phil. If you are reading this and interested in Ethereum, you should come to our opening event, Node Foundation, in January. And 10,000 refers to CryptoPunks. So for those who don't know, Node Foundation bought the CryptoPunks IP. So this is going to be the first time they're officially doing anything with that. I am ridiculously tempted to go. I think I'm thinking about it seriously. And I'm like, but then I'm like, and this is the funny part. Then I'm like, but if I'm going to California, I need to go to Noun Coffee.
Yeah. But is this in Palo Alto?
Yeah, they're nowhere near each other.
Not near Noun Coffee.
They're like 6 hours away. But I might, I'm thinking about it. Anyway.
You don't even drink coffee.
I know, it's not the point. My name is under the countertop. I have to go see it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, but I'm like, how can I figure this out and have it make sense? And I haven't figured out that part yet. This from Nick, something historic happening at the NYSE today. This was yesterday. A lot of people didn't quite pick up on what was going on, but Polymarket got a $2 billion with a B dollar investment from the NYSE, from the New York Stock Exchange, their investment arm. So that's pretty amazing. Polymarket also is now available in the US. There's a new iOS app that was just released yesterday also that you can get on the wait list for. So a lot of things happening there. And what was really interesting is I talked about prediction markets in class the other night, and none of my students knew what I was talking about. None of them had heard of Polymarket. None of them had heard of Kalshi. They had no idea what I was talking about. I talked about Bracky and Ponder and all these different things. And I'm like, I realized how early. Like, this company just got a $2 billion investment, and these kids who are the target market have never heard of it. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, so that's exciting, and congrats to the Polymarket team. This from Toady Hawk. Clankers Do It Better is a 1-month celebration of Clankerverse on Betterment, and it all starts tomorrow, which is today. Each week, we'll work with Dish and the rest of the Clanker team to choose one promising project. So he's just copying us from the Clankerverse and blow up their spot to kick it off. We couldn't think of a better place to start than with the Sultans of Swag, Savage, and Cat Cartel from Minted Merch. Using funds graciously granted by Clanker, we have purchased $1,500 worth of minted merch on the open market, which will be used to host a special round of Betterment featuring MM-related content on Friday. In the meantime, tomorrow we will host the team on a special retake stream with Moon Poppy to hear their story. So that is exciting. This is today. I was waiting for the second one. This is today at 2 p.m. Eastern. There it is. At the link below. So this will be on retake on Moon Poppy's channel. So very exciting. Toady just copying us. It's fine. If you don't know my relationship with Toady, it's very much sibling rivalry. So there you go. This from Shira. I love this question because I get to respond. Yes, a gifter sends real gifts via UPS or USPS. Currently, we only ship to the US, but international shipping coming soon. Gifts can be sent to a specific address, your home, to UPS access points for privacy conscious friends, or passed to another friend. Spread the love. So this is a new way to send a gift, and you can do it through this mini app, Gifter. Great for the holiday season. So there you go. Very exciting. This from Spikeball Chris, which I just like that Spikeball Chris is on Farcaster and like we're talking with them. I just find that very cool. So this was Farcaster fam, GM. I could use some help. Hattie, my 14-year-old daughter, and I created a new game called Spike Pong, which why didn't of course, like this makes perfect sense. Why didn't they do it sooner? We just launched a Kickstarter an hour ago and need help spreading the word. By the way, I think it's now at 100% funded. It was at 98 last night. Yeah, it was at like 75 yesterday afternoon. And then last night, about 98. Need help spreading the word. Hattie might get to go to college if this is successful. Can you repost this and pass this link along to your network near and far? Thanks in advance. So if you're not familiar with Spikeball, it's essentially like a volleyball game that you can play on a net, a small net, and you can play with multiple people. It's really fun. A lot of, you see it on a lot of beaches here in Florida. And they are launching one that's like a mini one that's like beer pong, but with this little mini spike ball net. And I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, duh. Like this is great. I could totally see us using it for, FarCon beer pong.
Yes.
So I got into a conversation with TLDR about this, and then it turned into let's do spike ball at the Coliseum. So we'll see. Next FarCon, there might be a spike ball tournament at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
With Spikeball Chris.
That'd be amazing.
That would be incredible. This is our friend Super Tight Woody. New video tomorrow. That's today. I'm starting a new series where I talk and make music with people. Super Tight Sessions. On my first episode, my friend Old Man Saxon, known from Netflix Rhythm and Flow, stops by and we find out mañana. So that's fun. For those who don't know, our theme song is by Super Tight Woody. So there you go. This from Lior from Product Length. This is a big milestone. We're partnering with Superfluid to distribute greater than 100K in SUP rewards to Farcaster and base builders over the next 12 weeks. But honestly, this validates something I believed in from day one. Community first growth isn't just a philosophy. It's a model that ecosystems want to participate in. We're already talking to several other protocols about using Product Length as their gateway to reward builders and communities. Superfluid is first, and they won't be the last. If you're building on Farcaster, this is your moment. Exciting times. So that's really exciting. So 100K in rewards going out. Very exciting. This from Toady Hawk. Well, my day just went from good to better. Feeling speechless, grateful, seen. Huge thank you to Base.e team for recognizing our work on betterment with the $25,000 top prize in the live mini app category of On-Chain Summer Hackathon. Over the past 6 months, we've been shipping nonstop, building one of the strongest token communities on Base, driving 180K in transaction volume across Farcaster and Base app, and paying 60K to featured creators along the way. But it's still day one. This win has given NetNose, I told you we'd say your name, NetNose, Burr, and me the motivation we needed to double down and take betterment to the next level. Build on Base and you'll be awarded. It's not just a thing Jesse likes to say. So this was in response to the announcement on Twitter.
Oh, we get to talk about your crash out.
Yeah, I'm going to have my crash out now. Here we go.
Told you things were spicy yesterday.
Yeah. Where they posted the winners from the On-Chain Summer Hackathon winners. And they only posted it on Twitter. Like, okay. Base team. Come in close. Why aren't you posting this first on your own app? Like, what is going on? We got to fix this because this is crazy. This has happened multiple times. The only place I could find the schedule for Basecamp was on Twitter. Like, stop. We gotta figure this out. Like, if there is an issue, like, figure it out. The easiest thing, also, like, if you can't do that, at least recast and repost the Twitter thing that you posted, because you still haven't done that. So what is going on? Anyway, okay, I'll stop now. But that really bothers me. So make sure, please, that you're posting it first on your own app before it goes to Twitter. Okay, back to the real thing. Jeez. I mean,
Same, girl.
it really bugs me.
I
It
love
really,
spicy broth.
really freaking bugs me. So
So
congratulations.
I'm gonna,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. So honestly, right, this is about dog fooding, right? It's like
Yes.
you're building the app, you got to use that app. I will say, by the way, you so rarely get
Crash
emotional
out.
about anything. Yeah, crash out. So I just love it. I love to just sit back and just let you. When I saw it yesterday, I was like, what's the big deal?
And I checked everywhere too before I said anything. Like I checked to see if maybe Jesse reposted it. What, checked all the people as well.
But I will say, I will, as
Yeah.
your partner, and I will say you do an excellent job. Like when we started GM Farcaster and you're like, we want to be on chain first. So it was like, how do I use all the on-chain tools first and then kind of do everything else second? You're just exceptional at it because you're willing to do the hard things. It's not easier. It's not bad. They're not easier yet. So I think you're pretty good at it, and you're just one person. Like, listen, the base team, like, it's a large team. They're not all necessarily crypto native. Like, they're hiring marketers and comms people who don't come from a crypto background, who might, so go easy on them, Prof. Go easy. They're doing their best.
No, I will not. I know. I talked to the person. Like I know who has the keys. And if that person isn't available to do this, again, there are multiple ways to do this, but also the base account did post something yesterday after this announcement went out,
but not
still hasn't posted this.
So what's funny, and I think I said this, I obviously submitted our mini app for the hackathon awards.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, because I thought it was going to announce while I was traveling, and I was like, oh, whatever happened to that? So I went to DevFolio to find the projects, and I was like, oh, I didn't see any updates. And I was like, oh, I kind of had just forgotten. I was wondering. Anyway, I guess I'm not on Twitter. So I guess, yeah.
You're not, if you're not, I mean, would they even know who to tag? I mean, insane. So congratulations, Betterment. We also had Annie chess game. I don't even know that one. Scratch, which we love Scratch. Stream Fun, which is retake. Influence, which I have mixed feelings about. And there's a few others that are in the replies, which I'm not logged in, so it's not going to let me see. But congratulations to all the winners. Awesome. Because if this was posted over on Farcaster, I would have no problem bringing that up. There's my crash out. And this is a general pet peeve for like anything base or Farcaster related. Post it there first if you want other people to come to your app. Also, one other base note, Benji is joining base as head of design, is the most bullish thing I've seen in a while. This is from Derek. Great talent addition to the team. Now, if we can just get him casting, and there he is, casting, setting up my base. But also, I saw a lot of people shouting this out and excited about this. I don't know who Benji is, but a lot of people were very excited about this happening. So there you go.
Yeah. So let's take their word for it.
We're going to take their word for it. I don't know who you are, but
this is a good thing.
Congratulations. And let's see. This is our backgrounds today. This is from Linda. Attending a live crypto perps trading competition in New York. It's being streamed like esports. Was funny. The announcer yelled, "Everyone make sure you're on ETH mainnet." I'm assuming they did it in an announcer voice. Favorite team I'm rooting for is Garrett and Zach B. So our friend Garrett was there, and he said this was a lot of fun for the inaugural Battles Codes event, which consists of teams trading perps in an esports style competition. Definitely a lot to improve, but it's a cool idea as perps continue to get more popular. The perps platform and live streaming feed had issues and delays, but I think it's a cool idea. I'd specify a minimum leverage amount and specific token pairs to make it more entertaining to follow along and watch. They're hoping to do more of these events at DevConnect, Art Basel, and Consensus HK, Hong Kong. So that's interesting. And I loved this. This photo was fantastic, Linda. Just really, really well done. Kind of loved it. So this is really, this is interesting. And for those, like, I haven't done anything with perps. I haven't not dove into this part of DeFi, but right now this is like what everybody's talking about and different new platforms that are out. So very interesting.
And it's all on Hyperliquid.
All on
Powering on Hype.
Hyperliquid.
So, and oh, that was the background I wanted. The moose. I knew I had another background idea. Forgot. Anyway,
I jumped ahead, so I jumped back.
But this, like Linda's cast, and I think Dan retweeted it or recast it and was like, "Oh, what?" But it's like,
what?
The theme, right? This convergence of like betting, like gaming, betting, finance, straight, like
finance.
and prediction markets, like it's just all everything come. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
Finance.
Bit of a finance in quotes.
But the betting and the gaming.
And the moose. The moose. Happy spooky season. I tap of this moose eating my kids' pumpkins. And then we got tagged in it. This moose belongs on GM Farcaster. And yeah, it does. This was the other one I was thinking for a background as well. And if I had known that you were doing that one, I would have switched to this because this was just funny.
I meant to. I mean, can you imagine? Like,
hi, there's a moose at your back door eating your pumpkins. Yeah.
Love it.
So funny. And one last thing. This was hilarious.
A video that goes through all those pieces. So basically, these are a compilation of his daily art pieces animated into a video that goes through all those pieces.
Oh, that's cool.
This is like a limited edition thing you can buy. Support him, and you're holding the art, and you're getting the booster.
This is making our weekly recaps look very boring. This is making our weekly recaps look very boring. Look very boring. Look very boring.
Nice.
That was hilarious. And then Adrian and I both had the same thought of we should maybe hire that guy. Because our recaps are very boring.
And and spoiler alert, we have a call with that guy tomorrow to explore.
Because they're like, wow, that was really good. And it was just very well done and entertaining. So thanks.
I'm so curious. What I want to know from Push is like
Push underscore. Yeah. Just so
no
was asking.
hyphen.
Yeah.
Push hyphen.
Hyphen. Yeah.
I'm dying to ask him like how, like what I want to know his process and how long it takes for him to make that clip, because I've done clips before that are like a 10th as good and probably took 10 times as long. So so interesting.
I know. I'm very curious about that as well. So that was fantastic. So thank you, Push. We do have sense of humor. So yeah, I was fine with that. It was fantastic. And that is it, Adrian. Anything else that I may have missed? Because that was a lot, and we've gone very long for a light day.
Yeah, I got a call in 10 minutes, so
we gotta go.
Let's wrap it.
We gotta wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. Like what Sig Wider said here. Remember to smash the like button.
I do have one more thing to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Has anyone checked out the trending mini apps on Farcaster this week?
Why, yes, I have.
And what do you think of the list?
I think it's fantastic. If you haven't noticed, GM Farcaster is featured in the featured mini apps right next to Cody and Zound Club. And then you have GM Farcaster, Letter Loops, and Slay to Earn. So right in the middle there is GM Farcaster. So if you haven't checked out our mini app yet, you should do that, both on Farcaster and on the base app. You can find it both there.
And I just checked, and I think we're getting more people. Like the discovery is working. I think, because I think there's new people who added our mini app, and when you add our mini app, I can notify you when you go live. Because we just crossed over the 1,000 people getting our notification.
Fantastic.
We've been hovering in the 900s, like kind of slowly inching up, and we just crossed over. So I'm about to cast to give a thanks to Linda for promoting us this week.
Thank you. Yeah, that
because
was
I know
great.
they talk
Thanks,
about getting
Linda.
your first 1,000 users as if it's that easy. It's not that easy if you don't give away free money in your mini app.
True story. Yeah, if you give away free money, very easy.
Very easy to get those first 1,000.
We unfortunately don't do that. But we give away free alpha and free content and lots of free things.
And
so
friends.
You should definitely
and friends and fun.
Friends.
Wait, is this true? You didn't even know we had a mini app. Where have you been?
What?
I only talk about it all the time. We do give giggles.
We do give giggles. It's true.
Red Wings, I'm going to cast about the featured app. You can add
they don't have that on desktop. That's a good request.
And that's my number one actually complaint against the base app right now too, is it's mobile
web.
only. Okay.
Yeah, that's why we don't that's the other reason I probably spend more time on FCs, because I'm also curating from there, because I can't pull up anything from base app directly. I have to like have screenshots or whatever in order to show it. So that's a challenge. But anyway, thanks everybody for hanging with us. You guys are awesome. We will be back Friday, 8:30 a.m. I believe. I don't think we have a guest. Next week, we are going to have a little bit of a different schedule. I think we're doing Monday, Tuesday, and are we doing Friday? We'll talk about that.
Let's talk offline.
We'll talk about that.
But we'll be in person.
We'll be in person.
Together.
And we're also, you know what, if we do something in person on Friday, that will be episode 300. So just saying. Anyway, with that, everybody, we will see you on Friday. And until then, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.